Welcome back. The use of artificial intelligence in schools is sparking debate and pushback across the country. Now, one local parent group is asking Chicago school board candidates to pledge their support for new limits on that technology. Casey Crotis is live here in the studio to break it all down for us. Hey, Casey.
Hi, Lauren. And this really is such a hot topic. And the debate really comes down to protecting students from rapidly evolving technology, but also preparing them for a world where AI is becoming part of our daily lives. The parent group, Illinois Families for Public Schools, which was founded 10 years ago, is asking candidates who are running for the Chicago Board of Ed to sign a pledge limiting AI use in the district. So far, about 24 candidates, or half the pool, have signed on. This fall, Chicago voters will elect representatives from all 20 school board districts, along with the board president, creating the first fully elected school board in the city's history. The nonprofit is also calling for a 3-year moratorium on generative AI use in the district, wants CPS to create a chief privacy officer position, and is asking for a ban on the collection of students' biometric data. The group's executive director, Cassie Cresswell, explains why they believe those safeguards are needed now.
This is experimental technology. It may have a lot of promise in the field of education, but right now it really has a lot of risks. And what experts are saying is that the benefits right now are not outweighed by the risks. And so we really want any kind of rollout and integration of generative AI into education systems to be done extremely carefully and thoughtfully. And if it can't be done safely, then it shouldn't be done at all. And so we'd like this 3-year moratorium so that the Board of Education can get real input from all stakeholders and set policies that are truly protective.
In response, a spokesperson for Chicago Public Schools shares in part, as students arrive with varying degrees of familiarity with generative AI, district administrators and teachers are working to provide both faculty and students with high-quality, deeply vetted AI literacy materials and AI tools, as well as the implementation guardrails and policies that help reinforce a rigorous, high-quality education. The parent group also alleges that CPS was on the verge of rolling out an AI chatbot in every high school student's Chromebook. CPS tonight is telling us that those claims are inaccurate and highly misleading.
And with anything, Casey, you've got people on both sides of it, people who love things, people who hate things. Have any candidates spoken out against this pledge?
Yeah, actually, one of the candidates who is running for school board president, Victor Henderson, says he will not sign the pledge because he worries that a moratorium could limit students' understanding and education of AI technology. Instead, he believes the district should move forward transparently. And for parents out there who are curious to learn more, CPS has a webpage dedicated to how AI is being used in schools, and we'll have that linked on our website.
Okay, Casey, sounds great.
Thanks.